So pre-context, if you enjoy Dauntless, keep playing it. If you're a new player, it's a great game. But for veteran players, it's rough. And for anyone that says, I thought you were done posting Dauntless content, sincerely, I tried to save Dauntless. I really did. And at one point, it maybe seemed as if there was a glimmer of hope, an absolute ounce of possibility that they would heed my call and just hear me, not listen to me, but hear what I have to say and then ponder like, why is Doe saying this? Does he have a point? Is he crazy? What's the purpose? No, that never happened. So here's how some DMs went with some folks that were in relation with Phoenix Labs. Yo, I've been watching some of your content and hearing a lot of your feedback come in. I want to make sure you have a good avenue to get your thoughts across to developers outside of just your videos. Some of your thoughts have been making their way to them via the videos, and some of them feel a bit attacked. To be fair, I was making some mean stuff, I won't even lie, and now it's foolish of me. I was a child then. I'm grown now. I'm an adult. I've assured them that we always want our partners to be honest and clear. Sometimes feedback isn't necessarily nice, and that's okay. I mean, my feedback was mean, I'll be real. So I just wanted to see if it would be better if you could write your thoughts down so we can get them across the devs so you're heard. That's what was said to me, okay? Now, the reality of this is, I didn't realize it at the time, they didn't want me to say what I was thinking to hear me out as like a pseudo therapy for, hey, bro, we know you're struggling. Dauntless is a tough time. It hasn't really been popping off recently. It's your job and you're really passionate. But no, it wasn't like that. It was more so, we want you to shut up. Just it's like basically send us your thoughts and we'll put them in the shredder for you, but we'll make it seem as if we care. And that's what happened. So I send this. Too long didn't read. It's not easy to make evergreen content in Dauntless, and the recent escalation changes makes that even harder. At the time, they nerfed certain amps in escalation, making them weaker in a for fun game mode, right? In a game mode where the whole goal was how wacky can I get my damage to be? When you play a roguelike, like Gunfire Reborn, the new Raven's Watch, I suggest it, fantastic game. I mean that. The goal is to try and get crazy damage, bro. That is the whole purpose. Hades, that's the whole purpose. And in Dauntless' case, they didn't have a whole lot of fun modifiers, and the ones that were fun, they ended up nerfing them or making the rarity of them so much higher for no reason, which then makes the RNG of getting it way higher, and then makes it to where you have to spend way more time playing the game to try and feel something, to try and feel alive in a video game that is just slowly draining all the essence of existence out of your everyday being. Like, what? Anyway, I completely understand that my feedback for Dauntless in some recent videos has been pretty harsh. And I haven't been trying to make that harsh feedback. This video is facts, all right? Let's get it straight. Some of my grievances with Dauntless recently have been with the escalation changes and the amp system. To explain my view, I'll phrase it like this. There's Trials, a competitive mode that I'd assume is the least popular mode by far in Dauntless. I still assume that. Hunting Grounds is a nice chill time grinding out gear and levels. Then there's Escalation, a game mode with tons of potential, and a lot of that stems from just how crazy things can get. I said this 8/25 of 2021. What's the 8th of the month? It goes July, August. I said this in August of 2021, bro. Nothing's changed. Crazy. I talked to a dev about it in the Discord, but my take on it is nerfing the good amps and making the best amp Virulent Impact have the rarest drop rate just lowers the fun a player can have in this game mode. The way it was before, it took some time to get Virulent Impact and have a lot of things go a player's way to do cool things. Basically, get Virulent Impact, get other damage amps, and then go to the end boss and do some wild stuff. Like round 4, round 5. That's where the real crazy stuff happens. But it takes a build-up, it takes time, it takes RNG. And they made the RNG take longer, like one-shot behemoths. It wasn't happening all that often though. Now in 3 to 4 hours of Shock Esca with runs averaging 7 to 9 minutes, I get 3 Virulent Impact amps. The reason I think this is bad is people are interested in this kind of wow what the F gameplay, whether it's hitting for high damage numbers or one-shotting behemoths. My most popular videos in the past couple months are videos of just that. And it was one-shotting behemoths. That is the evergreen content that isn't boring to make. Like the guide content, I know it's helpful and it's fun to make when you're actually passionate for the game, but imagine nowadays, hey guys, welcome to another build video. It's your boy, Moist Doe back at it again with another build. Today it's like, that's just, it's boring. It's way more fun trying to do content that is more it's like more of a spectacle. because it's fun for me, it's fun for folks to watch. That's the enjoyable part, and they just nerfed it. It blew my mind, and I tried to explain that the best I could. Trying to balance a mode in a way that just decreases the wow factor without boosting other fun aspects is a mistake, and that's what I was trying to say. I just couldn't believe that they wanted to nerf the drop rate of violent impact, nerf the damage amp you get, where you get damage each round, and the goal of that amp is to get it round 1, otherwise it's kind of not that great, instead of making amps that aren't so, good, better, more interesting, more intriguing. And one suggestion I gave, or maybe I didn't give it in this, but I thought of way long ago, was the amp in Blaze Escalation, the one where you get more meteors based on stagger damage. Instead of having it be a bunch of freaking, like just 1,000 meatballs aimed by freaking Steve Buscemi, the guy who can't see a dang thing in that movie, why not make it a giant meteor? And it gets bigger the more stacks you have of stagger. You can't tell me that wouldn't be a spectacle. Just imagine a giant meteor, a biblical sized meteor dropping if you get like 600 stacks. If you're playing it properly, focusing stagger, making a stagger damage build for the fun of it. But no, we nerf the drop rate of violent impact, and we nerf other amps that are damage that folks are trying to use for fun. Damage amps plus violent impact were nerfed, but nothing else got changed for the better. Outside of that, now it's easier for me to get bothered by all the amps that serve no purpose for my goals. There were some amps that just aren't fun. There are amps that are just filler. Instead of nerfing the fun amps, the damage amps, why not make the filler amps not so filler and make them actually useful and engaging? You see, like, that's something I had a major problem with. I don't expect the best amps all the time, but most of the time I have options but no choice. 4 options in front of me, but there's nothing to really choose. It's almost like I'm better off taking nothing at some points, which is still the way today. Yesterday I played 1 escalation, or I played technically 2, but I played 1 round of 1, Boreas with Elder Shields. I played another one, killed Nasher, and then it was Boreas and Skarn. But when I had my level up option, my amp selection, I had one for 2% damage. 2% damage. And it's like they don't understand how boring that is, bro. I just played a game called Raven's Watch, fantastic game again, for 60 hours. Not straight, but that game has 1 chapter. You spend around 25 minutes going through the game and you fight a boss and it's done. I played that game for 60 hours. Why? Because of the upgrades. The upgrades augment your playstyle, and the whole goal that I had was trying to get more and more damage, trying to min-max and just trying to do that, maybe take less damage, and it's a good time. Dauntless has multiple escalations, and I cannot be asked to play the game because the options I get half the time aren't fun in Escalation. The for fun game mode is not fun. Where was it again? I get like 1 decent amp and the rest are things that don't matter. For instance, Breath of Life does nothing for me if I have the lifesteal talent in that specific Esca. There's a lot more than that though, and it's an issue with not being able to tell the game what your goals are. I want to go for damage, so just give me damage amps. It could take into account what Omnicell you're using to add in those kind of amps, to at least minimize as much trash RNG as possible, because as it stands, you just get stuff you don't really need. And this is also something that happens in Raven's Watch, but I put up with it because there's at least decent options most of the time. That's a really interesting take. This said the employee for Phoenix Labs. It's a hard one to balance because the wow with the F moments don't necessarily make a healthy, balanced game. It's a PvE game, dog. The game ain't gonna be no one cares about balance if it's dead. It's not dead right now, but it's lost popularity like crazy in the eyes of the game designers. I think there's definitely something behind your feedback about the super fun amps being rarer than ever. I'll pass it on to the team. Guess what happened? Nothing, senor. Nothing. Nothing changed. I do think we need more moments in gameplay that are over the top and wacky. And I mean, true. Yep, damage is the easy way of achieving that, and people gravitate towards it. It even happens in Monster Hunter World. People want the crazy, wacky stuff. They want to push the limits. With Dauntless, I think there's a lot that can be done in Escalations with the amps in particular. The wow moments can be created with visuals, and it doesn't have to all just be insane damage or whatnot. For instance, Lady Luck Barrage. See? I said it 2 years ago. It's just a barrage of tiny golf ball sized hail. If it was a single or maybe 2 to 3 meteors that grew in size based on stacks, that'd be sick, and it'd be actively and I'd be actively trying to see how crazy I can get it. It's the same with shields before the recent changes to Scar and UE, which they nerfed that too. They made it so Scar and UE had like a cap. It's like, why add a cap for stuff that happens at the highest level when the majority of folks won't experience it in the first place. Like, because I could do things, the game got nerfed. Like, honestly, I tried to save Dauntless, but in reality, I killed Dauntless, and it wasn't on purpose. Because I showed how wacky stuff could get, I caused the developers to be like, oh, gee willikers, we can't be having that. And then they nerfed it to the ground, dude. Because I enjoyed the game so much, and I wanted to share what I enjoyed so much with people and showing them how fun it could be, I inadvertently killed the game. I killed my own enjoyment, because what I enjoyed doing ended up getting nerfed. Same that happened to shields before the recent changes of Scar and UE, which is now capped. It was a lot of fun trying to figure out how to get my shields as high as I could before it was even something that gave damage benefits. And again, I did this before it even gave damage. It was just for fun. I would nerf my own damage to try and get my shields to like 10k, like 12k, 25k, just for fun. Yo, do you have any information on how to replicate that twin suns bug? There was a bug where you could actually shoot twin suns, like just infinitely. And the funny thing is, it did less damage than just regular repeaters. And that got me met with, for context, we don't allow partners to post exploits. We'd rather handle these things internally so we can get them fixed ASAP. Hey, Doe, you know that content that you want to post to try and, I don't know, pay the bills? Yeah, you can't post that anymore because we don't allow partners to do that. But go ahead and let everyone else post about this stuff. I didn't really show how to do exploits. I just showed that, yo, this thing's crazy. It's broken right now. Go nuts. And some of those videos got me hella views. Views equals money. Money equals paying my bills. Being in the partner program was like, hey, yeah, that rent, it's gonna be a little rough this month because you can't post that video, can't post this one. Exploits, you can't post those. Like, bro, this game's crazy.